Eren Yeager was never searching for peace. He was chasing something deeper, a feeling he couldn't name as a child, but one that clawed at his chest every time he looked past the walls. To freedom. To him, freedom wasn't an idea, it was a promise of open skies, unchained thought, and the right to choose, even if that choice led to ruin. Of the boy who saw his mother devoured in front of him, that promise became everything. When freedom becomes a cage, Aaron once believed freedom was simple. Break the chains, kill the enemy, escape the wars. He thought if he fought hard enough, if he destroyed everything in his way, he'd finally be free. And for a while, it looked like he was right. He killed titans, he saw the truth, and he finally reached the sea. With every victory, something felt wrong. The goalpost kept moving. The more he fought, the more enemies appeared. And the more enemies appeared, the more he changed. But the truth wasn't what he expected. There wasn't one enemy, there wasn't one villain. Just an endless cycle of fear and power passed from hand to hand. And so freedom, his sacred dream, started to rot. It became survival, then domination, then inevitability. He wasn't fighting for freedom anymore. He was fighting because he had to. Because the boy who dreamed of the ocean couldn't stop once he touched it. Because the moment he saw the other side, he realized he was never free. He was simply in a bigger cage. And what's worse, he had become its warden. The future that broke him. Aaron's first dream was simple: make it to the basement, uncover the truth, and finally be free. And when he did, it should have been everything. But it wasn't freedom waiting behind that door. It was history. Cruel, endless, inherited history. A world that hated them. A cycle that had no heroes, only victims and monsters taking turns. That's when he realized the cage wasn't the walls, it was the world. Then came Historia's hand, a moment meant to be gentle, but it broke him. That touch opened every path, every memory, every future. He saw himself become a monster, saw Mikasa cry, saw Armin hesitate, saw the blood, the betrayal, the lives his friends would have to carry long after he was gone. And so by the time he reached the ocean, he didn't cheer, he didn't cry, he simply stared. Because beyond those waves wasn't hope, it was more enemies, more wars, more war, more chains, just dressed in different flags. The boy who once dreamed of the ocean died the moment he saw what lay past it. Because the freedom he wanted would cost everything. So Eren made that trade. Accept the path, even if he hated it. He carried the future, even if it crushed him. And in that moment, freedom changed. It wasn't about escape. It wasn't about winning. It was about control. Over destiny, over pain, over the legacy he'd leave behind. Even if, even if it meant becoming a villain in someone else's story. So maybe freedom So it was actually the idea of freedom that kept him chained. Freedom isn't isolation. There's a lie we tell ourselves that if we cut the world off, if we walk alone, if we owe nothing to no one, then we'll finally be free. But isolation is not liberation, it's abandonment of others and eventually of yourself. Eren learned that too late, because you're not free if the person you love are still in chains. You are not free if your silence costs someone else's future. And you're not free if the only thing you escaped is accountability. Freedom without connection is just another cage. Only this one, you built yourself. True freedom isn't found in solitude. It's found in sacrifice, in empathy, in choosing to bear pain so someone else doesn't have to. Freedom isn't choosing the cage. It's tearing it down so no one else has to live inside it. And that's what Eren did. He stopped running for himself. He started walking toward an ending that gave others a beginning. For Mikasa, for Armin, and for a generation of children who deserve the world untouched by their sins. He became the weight so they could become the light. Freedom that breaks chains. In the end, Eren didn't win. He didn't live. He didn't get to taste the freedom he longed for. And maybe that was just the irony of it all. The man chasing freedom was actually the man most chained by freedom. He became the villain. He played the part because someone had to. Because someone had to carry the burden of being hated, so the people he loved could finally be free. But not free in a way he once imagined. See, Eren once believed freedom meant control over fate, over enemies, over the world. But control is a quiet lie. It feels like freedom because when you're alone, you command everything. No one can betray you. No one can stop you. You mistake isolation for power and power for peace. But real freedom isn't about having power over others. It's about having the strength to let go of power for their sake. Eren could have ruled. He could have wiped the board clean. But he chose something else. He chose to be remembered as a monster so his friends could become heroes. He chose to vanish from their future so they could finally have one. Because in the end, the walls were never just made of stone. They were made of fear, of history, and of endless revenge. And so Eren tore them down, not by escaping, but by making sure no one else would have to live behind them again. Eren teaches us this. Freedom is not the absence of chains. It's a decision to carry them and then eventually break them. So you and no one else has to carry them again. Because the greatest freedom isn't what you fight for yourself. It's for the future you make possible for someone else. So maybe Eren truly was free in the end. But I'll leave that for yourself to decide. Thanks for watching. This has been Blessed Visions, where we break down anime what makes you think, feel, and what helps you grow. Moving forward, this channel is all about lessons, whether it's a single episode or full character arc. Every video is designed to help you see something differently and become stronger for it. If you're going through something, loneliness, heartbreak, finding purpose, making friends? Drop it in the comments. I'll do my best to craft a video that speaks directly to you. Because every story holds a lesson, and every lesson is a step forward. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay blessed. Ciao.
あれ、ミカサ。
そろそろ帰ろう。
なんでここに。
そんなに寝ぼけるまで熟睡してたの？
いや、なんかすっげえ長い夢を見てた気がするんだけど。なんだったっけ、思い出せねえな。